Welcome to Positive Atheism English channel. In our program, Leaves from Gora's Life, written by Dr. Sharma Marla from West Germany, I am going to continue from the last episode where I left. Congress did not follow Gandhi. As a result of the struggle for political freedom under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, India became free on 15th of August 1947. Lord Mountbatten continued as our Viceroy, the Governor General. The British imperialistic rule had been withdrawn. It was a unique event when a colony was freed non-violently. That is a matter of history. 5 months after India was declared free, Gandhi was assassinated. So, after the assassination of Gandhi, the Congress, which was the organ, the institution fighting for the freedom of India, did not go the Gandhian way. This has been a movement. It turned into a party, a political party. Gandhi, in his last testament, advised the Congress to campaign for the cause of the people, to become a people's movement, Lok Seva Sangh, as he called it, but Pandit Nehru, our first Prime Minister, and other Gandhians did not pay much heed to Gandhi's advice. As any other political party, Congress also became one. It became politically sectarian. Instead of representing all the people, it represented the vested interests. It did not follow the secular ideas which Gandhi preached. Gandhi said there must be communal harmony between Hindus and Muslims. By 1947, he said that religion was a personal matter and India should become a secular in the sense that the government should take all the citizens not in terms of communities. India, though she calls herself secular, is not secular in that sense in which Gandhi used. Gandhi wanted religion should be a personal matter. Now, religion is a public matter, only asking for harmony between the different religions. This kind of harmony did not work and has not worked even now. Even today, there are communal rights as bad as they were at the time of the partition of India. India did not go secular in the real sense, and the Gandhians also fell into pomp. The British imperialism is gone, but the imperialistic ways of the government remained with its bureaucracy and with the legislators. They live in pomp and pageantry just like the Britishers. The people were getting disillusioned. Gora and his wife played their own role along with their friends at Mudunuru for the independence of India. But as with the other former Congress workers, they felt that they were not wanted by the new rulers of India who went the British way of life, the British way of pageantry and pomp with imperialistic methods. So, some of them thought very seriously about it. They wanted to revive Gandhism at any cost. Due to the setback that Gandhism was suffering after the attainment of independence, the communists became more and more popular. They came out with the philosophy of economic equality and attracted the attention of the laboring classes and untouchables. So much so in 1952, when elections were held in part of the country, the Andhra Pradesh, the Madras state at that time, the communists got the majority seats. So the communists became very popular and the congressmen who fought for the independence were losing popularity. So some of them wanted to correct the picture of real Gandhism. Gandhi was no less for economic equality than the communists. It is not only Marx who talked of economic equality. Gandhi spoke about working for economic equality. So Gora wanted to project the picture of the Gandhian methods of attaining economic equality because their differences with the Marxian methods were already plain. The communists worked for dictatorship and they had recourse to secret methods. They wanted to be open and more democratic. So they wanted to project the picture of Gandhi as one who championed the cause of economic equality. They printed leaflets of the 13th item of the constructive program called Working for the Economic Equality and broadcasted the idea. They were opposed on one side by the communists because they were open in their methods and on other side by the Gandhians who opposed them because they were living in pomp. And the 13th item, Working for Economic Equality, stood against the pomp and pageantry of the Gandhian ministers, the Congress ministers who paraded in the name of Gandhi. So they had to face opposition on both sides, one side from communists, other side from the congressmen in power. Still, Gora and his team made their stand very firm and stood very firm and in 1951 held a conference called Gandhi Sangh, Gandhi Association in order to bring into the forefront the fading picture of Gandhiji. The conference was held at Gudivada, about 20 miles from Vijayawada. Gudivada was a town close to Mudunuru. Gora had many of his jailmates and colleagues of the freedom struggle there. They organized the conference. Most of the donations were in kind, and at that conference they made their stand very clear. The atheists are said that they are nearer Gandhism than Marxism. Atheists emphasizes the freedom of the individual and encourages the individual to rebel against injustice. Atheism wants the individual to take the full responsibility for the state of affairs around him and to work without complaint. Gandhi's method of satyagraha also is the same. So, the atheists were closer to Gandhi. Of course, Gandhi used the conventional theistic language to express the atheistic ideas. He had the advantage. He spoke and explained revolutionary ideas in familiar language. The atheists explained the same revolutionary ideas in atheistic language that was unfamiliar. So, the progress of atheism looks slow, but it has been very firm. Gandhism suffered a setback after his assassination because Gandhi adopted the theistic language. The theistic language had the advantage of being familiar, but it had the disadvantage of bringing about the reaction also. After the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi, the Gandhians took only to the theistic aspect of Gandhi's teachings and were content with conducting prayers as Gandhi did. But they did not take the revolutionary aspects of Gandhism like secularism, economic equality, adult education, and women's liberation. They took only to the easy theistic ways of prayers. Gandhi's method of adopting the theistic language to explain atheistic ideas contained this disadvantage. Marxism, though it uses the atheistic language, was basically theistic in philosophy because it subordinated the individual to the material circumstances. Though Gandhi said that God was supreme, it was a conventional way of saying things. It expresses more the observance of truth than devotion to God. So atheists felt closer to Gandhi. They wanted to make this correction in Gandhi's method, that is, explaining atheism in the atheistic language. They used the atheistic language to explain Gandhism. The Gandhians objected to their use of the word Gandhi because they said Gandhi was a theist. The traditional Gandhis objected Gora using the word Gandhi and naming the conference Gandhian Conference. The matter was taken to Kishorlal Mashruwala. He was secretary to Gandhi. Mashruwala said that if anybody had the right to use the name of Gandhi, Gora also had the right. So he brushed aside the objections. So when they held the conference of Gandhi Sangh, they had to face all these objections and opposition from the orthodox Gandhians who were content to take the prayer but did not follow the principles of economic equality or secularism which Gandhi preached. Gora thought they were following Gandhi's principles more in the spirit than in mere form of prayer. Gandhi used prayer, but that prayer meeting was using only to gather people and to explain his own ideas of secularism. After Gandhi, the Gandhians used only prayers but did not follow secularism. Orthodox Gandhians objected them calling Gandhi more atheistic than his contemporaries, but despite all the opposition they persisted and they feel today they have won the ground. And at the same time of the conference of Gandhian Association or Gandhi Sangh, Gora explained all these differences from the platform. They said that Gandhism is an integrated life. They cannot divide life into economic, political, social, or cultural compartments. Whole life is one, and a free individual should rebel against any injustice which he finds most inconvenient to him. There is not one program, economic, political, or social. The whole individual should rebel against any injustice anywhere. Life is integrated. Life is one and whole and cannot be divided into compartments. Everyone is to take up the cause of establishing justice wherever he finds it convenient. This kind of message the atheists gave at the conference of Gandhi Sangh in 1951, and the atheists took up the cause of Gandhism and they all went on propagating. They felt closer to Gandhi. Gora and others were with Marxists as far as the programs are concerned, but made no secret of their differences in the philosophy of Marxism. If Marxism thought that the individuals are subordinated to circumstances, they disagreed with that principle. It is the individual that has to control the circumstances, and civilization consists in controlling these circumstances, not in subordinating one to certain circumstances. Marxism was fatalistic in essence and philosophy, whereas Gandhism is revolutionary. Marxism is theistic philosophy explained in atheistic terminology. Gandhism is atheistic philosophy explained in theistic language. Now, Gora wanted to be the atheistic correction to Gandhism. They wanted to explain the atheist philosophy of Gandhism in atheistic language. It meant some opposition to them because atheism is usually considered to be wicked and slandered. They all faced that and they were happy for it. And from here, we shall meet in the next episode again. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to our Positive Atheism English channel presented by Dr. Samaram Multi-Channel Network, which has more than 18 crore views, and click the bell icon for notification of our new videos.
Please download Samaram Multi-Channel app and watch your favorite channels from your mobile. App available on Google Play Store and subscribe to the channels.